The first Native Americans, the first people, were called Paleo-Indians, and this is a name that means Old Indians. It's the name archaeologists have given the people who lived in America between 8,000 and 12,000 years ago. These people were started off hunting with spear and arrowheads to hunt mammoth, and we have example of that. Then around 11,000 years ago, they started creating fluted knives made out of flint, which is some of the flint knives you see here. Mostly these are designed to hunt bison. Between 8,000 and 10,000 years, we start to see spears and arrows. Now these Paleo Indians hunted their animals to extinction. They hunted them in large amounts. They would feast on the animals for days. They would undergo periods of hunger. And so we can start to see, even in this first group, that Native Americans, these Paleo Indians, were not ones who lived in harmony with their nature. They interacted with their world in a way that was both positive and had destructive forces. About 1,000 years ago, up to about 3,500 years ago, there's a new name for those people. They're called Archaic Indians. And these are people who began to cultivate crops. There's smaller migratory patterns. They focus more on vegetation. And they cultivated maize, squash, and beans. These are three crops that grow together to make up the Three Sisters. From about 3,500 years ago to the time of contact in about 1,500, those Native Americans were called woodland gatherers, and this is especially in North America. And like the Archaic Indians, they also focused on cultivation, but they also began more complex patterns of trade. They developed pottery, and they developed and here we see the definition of Three Sisters. These three crops grow together very well because the maize creates the foundation for the beans to grow up. The vines can grow up the maize, and then the big squash creates some shading for the bean plants.